So I mean, go on.
This is Ezekiel 9 and verse 4. And Yahawah said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of it.
Will it only been a sign and cry? For all the abominations, because if this world continues on, I mean, it's just going to get just bizarre. I mean, it's already bizarre as it is, but it's just going to get worse. I mean, come on, you got people that are involved in changing who they are.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And then the kids have power to say, yo, I want to change my shit up. That's how you know that this world is done. It's finished. It's done. Like, and then you got this situation with this woman, right? That was killed by this cop. So they're gonna use that situation.
Oh yeah. Body was found today in Kent, by the way.
Yeah.
Police officer killed him. Is that what they say? The police officer killed him?
I believe it was a police officer. So
Yeah, it was a police officer.
Yeah, it was a police officer. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, who's to say that maybe that story is fake? Maybe they could have used that story to conjure up some other agendas or whatever, man.
Because the women are claiming back the streets. That's what they're putting out there. That's the vibration. The women must claim, because it's so scary walking down the street and you're on your own, and a black man, you know, they didn't say that. But they ain't saying that. But you know, they are saying that. And you got a black man might be walking behind you, and you're scared you might get. And they're the ones fucking putting their nasty selves out there anyway with their leggings and all that. And she was. What's her name? Sarah Everhard.
I don't know.
That's her name is Sarah, because I've looked a little bit into names from when I was in the churches, right? A lot of them, they have these names, the women. Lucy, right? And you got Lucy Dick. Put some of them porn stars, right? They got all these names. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like Lucy Dick, and you're not loose. You're loose. That means you belong to anybody, man. Yeah. They're the Edomite names. Sarah Everhard.
Right.
And when you be around the man are hard, innit? The man ever hard. These women. So she was out there. She was walking down the street down Clapham late at night. Going, yeah, what was she doing, man? Fuck out of here, man. But this is because they were under this law, this woman worship law.
That's all it is. And you know what this does as well. That situation. You know what that does? That's just going to bring more fear upon men and scare men from their manhood.
Yes.
And with that being the case, that goes with the depopulation program. Because if you got a bunch of men scared to deal with women, how can you procreate once again? So it all leads back to the depopulation, even with this transformism and this sodomite business that they're promoting. It's all leading to that one thing, depopulation.
Was that guy that was killed, the black guy that got mashed up on, he got his face mashed up? Emmett Till, yeah, because that, when I couldn't look at that picture for a very long time, and even when I look at it, it fucks up my head a little bit, right? But sometimes I'm walking down the street, and I remember one of my staff said that where the area I was brought up, and people that I had social workers and all that, and he was a black man. He said when he sees a white woman, he says he crosses over. He was drumming it into me. So because he don't want to be accused of a crime and shit.
Right.
So that was the generation that I kind of come up in. But now things are different. But now they're putting that back now.
Yeah, they're putting that vibration back.
And you feel paranoid. I'm around there. I walk around with predominantly Edomites where I live.
Yeah. And
I have to cross over this. I got a mind fuck too myself. Because of what I've seen, what happened to certain people being around, being accused of crimes that they didn't commit, and Emmett Till's the main example. Yeah. So now they might heighten it up. I think they're going to heighten it up again.
Yeah, just traumatize you even more. Put more fear in the air, especially with men, basically, because what it is they don't want. The reason why the media's pushing up against men, and it all goes back to this, because what they want you to be is just subservient. Right. You think about a man is supposed to stand up for something, right? So if you don't stand for anything, you fall for anything. That's what they want the world to be. They want the world to be under this vibration of just falling under anything. Just do as you're told, do what the government tells you to do, and that's why they kicked the man out of the house, and the government invited itself into the house, and that kind of sort of thing. That was just them saying, look, you're not in control, we're in control. And that's how they want it. And they want more control over the people. So with that being the case, let's scare men out of their manhood. And in that way, everybody will fall in line.
Yeah.
And if you have a sense of masculinity, as they're calling it, toxic masculinity,
Yeah.
you're showing a sense of masculinity, and you're standing up for something, or you're what is it? You're showing some kind of sense of power or integrity.
Yeah.
Then you're basically someone to look out for. You may commit a crime.
Yeah.
So that's what they're setting up.
Yeah.
Because Esau, they want to be the main ones to rule. They want to be the main ones to call the shots. They don't want nobody coming up with ideas and resisting. No. Because think about it, right? You had, throughout the centuries, you had so many different riots. You had riots that happened in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Riots that happened in the 1900s, the 1700s, the 1600s, and beyond. Right? But mainly the 1800s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that all came of because of who? A group of men came together and conspired of what they wanted to do. Stand up for something, basically.
Yeah.
So they want to knock that out.
Because they was
let's
having.
just bash away. Let's just bash being a man, and therefore men will be afraid of being a man, basically.
They went to court. The women then we wanted to have their visual in Clapham Common
Yeah.
for Women's Day, claiming the streets back.
Yeah.
They went to court, but the court said that because of the lockdown, you won't be able to do it. So they're saying now everybody can put a candle out
Yeah.
their doorsteps for Sarah Everhard, the deaf and
Yeah,
women.
yeah.
It's all around. It's all around Women's Day as well, isn't it?
Yes.
When was Women's Day? Just yeah.
Tuesday, it's a good point. They've done all this. It's all by design, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all set up. It's all set up. Because the thing with it is well, they want to divide people. The more you divide a group of people, the more you can conquer them. It's an old tactic they've been using. Divide and conquer. That's all it is. So I mean, if you keep putting out there that men are this and men are that, again, men are going to be fearful of dealing with women, and men are going to be fearful of acting a certain way. They're not going to want to show no kind of form of masculinity, and that's why the generation of these men today are demasculated, because they've been pretty much what's the word I want to use, man? Effeminized, but also henpecked
Castrated.
and castrated. Yeah,
Spiritually.
May I say something?
yeah,
It's very true what you're saying, and I remember this back when I was a child at secondary school. I noticed that when the teachers would like talk to me, they'd be quite rough. But the male teachers, they'd be like, "Have you done a homework?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
When they were talking to the female students, it's like, "So how are you getting on? Are you okay?" And they'd be like leaning over. And I noticed that at school. And furthermore, when I was in the workplace, I noticed managers would talk to me a certain way. "Have you done this? Have you done that?" When they're talking to the female member stuff, "Oh, how are you doing?
Yeah.
How are you getting on?" So the men would change they take the bass out their voice.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
become all effeminate when they're
Right.
dealing with female members of staff.
Yeah.
I myself, I'm not going to get into it too much, but I ended up getting kicked out of my job because I spoke to a woman the way
Yeah.
I'm speaking now.
You are.
She turned around and said she found me she felt threatened by me.
Yes.
I was aggressive.
Yes.
I didn't move towards us. I was just standing.
You
where I was
just stood
standing.
your ground.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just told her leave me alone, basically.
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, stood your
But
ground.
She made a complaint and said I was aggressive.
Yeah.
And she felt threatened by me. I got kicked out of my job.
You know what it is?
I know a lot of stories like yours. Yeah,
When
go
you
on.
show too much confidence,
Yeah.
people are threatened by
Yes,
your confidence.
yes.
So that's what it really is. Women
Yes.
are like that.
Yeah.
If you look
Yes.
at them for too long, they get
Yes.
all frightened because
Yeah.
it's just natural, isn't it? You
Yeah.
know.
yeah. But it's just confusing because women
Yeah.
want a confident man, but when you're too confident, you scary. Like it's just, again, it's confusion, man. Straight confusion. But I want to kind of like a little bit elaborate what you're saying, as of what you was doing in terms of standing up for yourself. That's what they don't want. They don't want you to stand up for yourself. They want you to acquiesce. Just sit down on your ass, listen to what we're telling you on the television or on the computer, and just go with that. That's what they really want. So this is why, as I'm going to keep on saying again, this is why the media is pushing up against men. Toxic masculinity, or men can't. There's a stupid woman that came out and said men can't go out after 6 p.m.
But that's
Yeah, there's an article on
and it's
that.
a woman declaring that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
women can go out, but men can't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what they
Proposed.
they proposed. Yeah. So I mean, this is what's going on in the world.
When we got arrested, we know many a time because all the truth, we always usually the Edomite women, man. So fuck them.
Yeah, and you know what it is too? The reason why the Edomite women are like that, because a lot of them have been abused. So it's just their way of getting back against men. You know, because there's a lot of abuse cases amongst these so-called white people. I mean, pedophile is at an all-time high amongst them. So you better believe they're getting it a lot. They're getting it a lot than the black women. So That's why they're so like forceful against men and hating men. Because a lot of them been abused, so they want to kind of get back at you. Because really, it's them getting back at their abuser. Someone that's abused him when he was a kid, or someone to that effect anyway. You know, so that's really what it all
They're
boils
fragile.
down
They're very, very fragile. Fragile. All they have to do, I couldn't hang around them too long, but all they would have to do, what I always bear in mind was if they just shout, rape, fuck, you're out of there, man.
Yeah.
Or make a phone call, you're out of there. I've seen things happen where I was brought up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, basically, yeah. So I mean, that's what they're creating. They're creating a world of fears. It's just you being fearful, and just don't stand up for anything. Because if you show any form of masculinity, then you're a threat to the world. You're a threat to the establishment. Just like what you did, you went to the job and you stood your ground. They don't want you standing your ground in their world. They don't want that.
May I just say a bit more on that
Go on.
topic? I was dismissed unfairly.
When I tried to make a complaint about it to the employment agency,
They ain't trying to hear it.
They were saying, oh, but and it was a gay man who said this as well, sodomite, who was in charge.
Yeah.
Of it. He says, oh, but we have a good contract with this company, and
Yeah.
we don't really want to lose our working relationship.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't want to
Reputation.
lose their working relationship.
Yeah,
So
reputation.
basically, you have to pretty much bow down to them because you know you're gonna upset their business.
Yep.
And it's just this whole idea of acquiescing. Just take bullshit because you're getting paid. You're getting what we're giving you, right? So just take that and be quiet. And that's what they want. They don't want people that has a sense, like you was talking about, confidence
Sense of
and a
self.
sense of integrity.
Yeah, right.
Because if you have that, then you may be an individual that may disturb things, and that's why the first people they're gonna come after is the Israelites.
That's right.
Mark my words, they're gonna come after us because they want to get talkers out of the way. If you're talking too much, they want you out of the way because they don't want people to be reactive and start using their head. They want people to basically just fall in line and just play the game and just be quiet. Go on.
No, that's pretty much it. So basically, they didn't want to take it any further because they didn't want to lose their contract with the company. So
Yeah.
basically, I was out of a job
Yeah.
and with nothing to show for it. But if I was a woman, on the other hand,
Yeah.
and I turned around and said, "Hey, you know what? That man was. I felt threatened by him, and he sexually assaulted me." They wouldn't be able to sweep it under the rug like that. It would be a big thing.
It'll be a big thing. Yeah.
But because I'm a man, it's like you said, they're trying to take the power away from the men.
Yeah.
This is a matriarchy. Margaret Thatcher, she was one. You heard of Margaret
Called
Thatcher?
her the Iron Lady.
The Iron
Nasty
Lady.
piece of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just the thing. They don't want
Matriarchy.
nobody to stand up against them. It's just you have to just follow through. You just do what they tell you to do. Whatever they tell you on TV, if they tell you that 25 million people are dropping dead over some virus, you better believe it.
And if you don't,
You
you're
have
a
to believe.
conspiracy theorist.
Exactly. It's either their way or their highway, basically. Going out. Yeah, this precept.
I was reading Ezekiel 9 and 4 before.
Okay.
Go through the midst of the city.
Yeah, you can read that. Let's
Right.
continue to read that, yeah.
Ezekiel 9 and 4, and Yahawah said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men, that sign that cry for all the abominations.
Right, and the word there is Fawah, the word Marcus Tawah, which means exempt from judgment. So when we're spreading this truth before you, what are we doing? We're putting a mark on you, and that mark is basically the name of the Lord. So once you know the name of the Lord, then through that name you'll be saved, as it says in the book of Acts. If you can, I'll give you the book of Acts, 4 verse 12. And within that, you're going to know the knowledge and understanding of this Bible. And therefore, you're going to have the name. That's what I should have said it, or how I should have said it. You get Acts 4 and 12.
Okay, this is Acts 4 and 12. Neither is there any salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven
Right.
given among men whereby we must be saved.
And that's another thing that they don't want. They don't want you to worship another God. They want you to worship them.
Blood.
That's what they want. So, I mean, if you're a man, if you're a group of men standing up for your rights or standing up for whatever you believe in, you're gonna enlighten other people to do the same thing. Find their own beliefs, because the agenda is this. The ultimate thing is this. The reason why we're reading these stories about women getting messed up by men and all of this nonsense, bashing men and all of this bullshit, is simply so that people can follow through what the elite are doing, to worship the elite. Don't do nothing. Don't say anything. Okay, and that's the ultimate goal of the powers, man. And that's why they established back in I believe it was back in 1970. They brought, I believe it was 1969, right? When you had the women's liberation. That was just a way of putting women in front of the household to subservientize every household and destroy the household. Because every destroyed household has to rely on something, right? A broken household needs help. So if you're broken or you are severely injured, you're gonna go to who? The doctor. You have to go to somebody, right? But if you're whole and your body's healthy, you're good, you're all right. So what Esau wanted to do, Esau wanted to destroy households so that these households that are in need can rely on Esau's household. The government, basically. That's what I'm talking about. That's it. And that's what they want. They want that more so than ever before. They want men to be like women. And that's why they want to change you all up, change your children all the way up so that you can acquiesce to them. That's what they want.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Yeah, so who was reading? Yeah, you was reading.
Yeah. You want Ezekiel 9 and 4? Was it? So
Yeah,
yeah, I just finished 8 and finished Acts 4 and 12.
Yeah, come.
Alright, so I'll keep going, yeah?
Yeah.
It says, and unto the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children,
Right.
and women. But come not near upon any man upon whom is the mark.
Right, so the Lord is not going to, as he did at that time, because he killed thousands of Israelites. He didn't appease the women. He's a woman. Excuse me. I mean, she's a woman. I'm talking about. She's a woman, and that's a kid. No, when the Lord comes to judge, he comes to judge everybody. He's not separating. He's not distinguishing no one. If it's your time to get judged, you're going to be judged. If you're a grown ass woman, you will be judged. It doesn't really make a difference. Okay? The Lord ain't like us where we easy to women, but then we hard on men. No. The Lord is hard on anybody. If you're deserving of judgment, you will be judged.
There's no respect of persons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go on, It says, come not upon any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. And they began at the ancient men who were before the gate, so before the house.
Right, so these are the angels of death, basically. So you're going to have those same angels that are going to come down and work with Esau and get the killing of 2/3 of his own people. Because they got to go anyway. They don't have the right mindset, and they don't want to repent. So they have to go. And when you're dealing with the 2/3, all you see is niggerism.
Yeah.
That's all you see among the 2/3. Straight up and down niggardism.
Well, Elder, the scriptures say it in the Apocrypha, they will not be reformed. You know? You can't reform them, so if you can't reform them, what has to happen?
They got to go.
Right.
You know, so that's just the deal. And I mean, it's a beautiful thing because they're coming back anyway, and they're gonna come back reformed. Even if they don't want to be reformed, they will come back reformed, and they will be Israelites again. According to the book of Isaiah 60, as well, it says that all Israel shall be righteous. So
Yeah.
how are they going to be all righteous? Are they going to be righteous in their own way? No, they're going to be righteous because they're going to have the laws, statutes, and commandments within them.
Precept.
Go on.
Colossians, you're talking about.
This is my last piece. I'm going to let you brothers get it in.
Colossians 3 and 25 says, Colossians 3 and 25 says, but he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons.
And there's no respect of person. So if you're a damn slut, you're a pretty looking woman, you're going to get judged, man. Now, can the slut, can she be forgiven? Can she repent? Of course she can. But if she continues on being a damn slut and just making people's lives a living hell and just doing things that's borderline ain't right, she will be judged. Just like men are being judged. As they like to say in society, everyone's equal, right? And it is true when it concerns judgment. Everybody's equal when it concerns judgment. So that's all I got to say on that. And one last thing I want to talk about as well, man, because I was also reading an article. No, it wasn't an article. It was a video that I was watching with this harlot by the name of Big Stallion or something like that. And she was interviewing Waters.
Oh, Megan Thee Stallion. She done a song with Cardi B.
Yeah.
That WAP song.
Right, that WAP song.
WAP,
right.
yeah.
So the title of the video was "Women Can Save the World." Well, guess what? If that's the case, check what I'm about to say, brothers. if that's the case, then they can save themselves.
Exactly.
Because there's an article that I was reading saying that men must be protective of women. Women don't need to be protected if they can save the world, right?
Exactly. Yeah, there you
A
go.
woman will be saved through childbearing.
Right. That's what I thought.
Yeah, Tariq Nasheed, which for information is good on the information, and usually talks about them bed winches.
Right.
You know, the Queen, she's good. Meghan Markle, she's going to be married into royalty, and everything's going to be, and they're going to sail up into the sunset and live happy ever after.
Right.
Fuck at them. Look what happened now. Look, you see.
Yeah, so and you
What a
know what too,
fucking
the
lie.
women that was into that kind of thing, man.
Yeah.
Our women especially, now they looking stupid.
Right.
See that? That's what happens, man. When you believe, when you try to put yourself with these devils, you want them looking stupid.
Right.
You know? And the thing with Meghan Markle, she's not even our people.
Yeah.
You could tell she's an Edomite.
Yeah.
But that's just the thing, man.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm done with it.
I had a precept. Come on,
Yeah, go on. Yeah, you brothers can come closer, man.
Because we were just speaking about this. This is Jeremiah 31 and verse 22. How long will thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahawah hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. So if I may speak upon it, it's like what we were saying a minute ago about how men have become effeminized. I mean, on the way here, when I was coming out the train station, got off the train and I saw a man walking in front of me up the underground steps. And I was looking at this guy, he's wearing a coat that's clearly a man's coat. I was looking at his jeans, and his jeans, like, you can see his flipping
Yeah, I saw
ankles,
that too.
yeah, and the shape of the jeans, they were women's jeans.
Elder. Yeah.
It was women's jeans that the man was wearing, and they clearly didn't fit the guy. And I was thinking, is that a fashion statement, or is this guy just stupid? But the thing is, it's like wearing these tight ass, skinny ass jeans is an in thing now.
Yeah.
And the men are feminized. I mean, if I can speak a bit more on the situation I was talking about before, where I got kicked out of my job. I was working in one of these upmarket places in central London where a lot of rich Edomites shop. And in there, I noticed that most of the people who were in the higher positions is either women or sodomites. They're all the managers.
I noticed that as well.
Can't.
Why is it the sodomite and the homosexuals, they got the biggest positions when it comes to the businesses? I've always noticed that.
You know why? Because they're showing they're showing the heterosexual community the example. Acquiesce and just follow rules.
Yes, that's right. And they're effeminate.
Yes.
They take on that women-like spirit. That,
Yeah.
I mean, they're walking in there like, oh, how you
Yeah.
doing? All this kind of effeminate shit.
Camp.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And they were the ones who are rising to the top positions.
Yeah.
And as the scriptures said, you know, as the ruler of a city
So
is,
is the people.
so are the people therein.
Yeah.
So if the company at the top, they're bringing in these like flipping. There was one sodomite dude from America, and he had this American accent.
Yeah.
And he was the big boss in that place.
Yeah.
And everybody was scared to just man up, man. I mean, for example, me, I got kicked out of the job twice. Long story. And it's by a woman both times. With two different women.
Yeah.
And it's because of, you know, I'm the way I am. I don't
It's your
trim
spirit. It's your spirit. Even if you tried, you probably couldn't do it anyway. I'm the same. You know, carry on though.
The scriptures say, why trimmest thou array to seek love?
Yeah.
And basically, the thing is, if I might expound upon it, the situation where I got kicked out the second time, because I wasn't really doing anything wrong, I was doing my job. I used to do they used to do mail orders, so at a certain time of day I used to have to go and give the post to the mailman to collect it. And it's sometimes expensive items because they used to sell jewellery and all this kind of stuff. So I had to watch and make sure the deliveries were taken. That was my responsibility. So I'm standing by the entrance at the back, waiting for the guy to come, Royal Mail and DHL. And this woman comes out the elevator and she sees me there. She's got two of her cronies with them. One little effeminate sodomite dude and another woman. And she goes, what's he doing there? And I said, I'm doing my job. Oh, just ignore him, he's silly. That's what she said. He's just silly, just ignore him. I was just like, I didn't bother to respond to
That's
it.
Satan.
Then, she's talking with her cronies and they're the epitome of yes men. They're just like, you know, waiting on her everywhere because she's supposedly a boss.
Yeah.
And then she says, oh, where do you work? Which department are you from?
So I'm like, oh, I work in goods in. Oh, I don't remember seeing you before. What are you doing here? I said, I'm doing my job. And she's like, oh, do you know that guy? I says, what guy? Oh, you know, the one who works up there in the mailroom. You know, the good-looking one. I says, I don't know who you're talking about. And she's laughing with her little
Trying to antagonise you, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And she says, oh, don't worry, you're good-looking too. And I'm like...
Patronising you.
This woman was not attractive
Patronising,
at all. I
yeah.
thought to myself, if I had said that to another woman,
Yeah.
I'd be held up on like, you know, you're being, what do they call it? Sexually,
Male chauvinist or
not that one,
provocative?
misconduct, like, you know.
Can't.
Like, you know, if you, they feel sexually threatened by you or something.
Misogyny, right?
Yeah, it's that thing, but you know, if, harassment, sexual harassment.
Oh yeah,
if you're harassing a girl, like.
Yeah.
So I thought, this is just off. But I didn't bother to respond. I'm still standing there. Then she says, oh, they had the package there.
So this is the manager we're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's this woman manager, yeah. So she said that to me, and I thought, well, I just didn't bother to respond. But I'm thinking this stuff. They put a package on the floor, and they said, oh, don't touch that. I says, don't worry, I won't. And she goes, oh, just ignore him. He's just silly. Just ignore him. And I says, and you're just patronising. And she goes, what? How dare you?
See?
How dare you?
There you go.
And the spirit on her, she's like looking like she want to fist fight me.
Yeah.
Because you revealed her.
Yeah. And she goes, how dare he? That cheeky little shit.
Yeah.
She called me a cheeky little shit. And I'm just standing there looking at her, yeah?
That's a test.
I didn't even bother saying that. I was just thinking, what? And she goes, how dare he? How dare he? And they moved her off. I went home for the weekend. Monday I get a phone call. I'm not going to put the person's name out there, but the other manager who fired me the first time. They're saying that they don't want you to come back, and apparently you was aggressive towards this person, and they found you threatening, and they were scared, and all this kind of stuff. They made up this lie saying that I was the aggressor because I said she was patronising.
But you see what I'm saying though, right? Check
So
this
I'm
out.
putting my shit out there, man. But
I'm seeing something here, and I want you brothers to see what I'm saying, right? Like, as you were going through what you were going through, there was just a bunch of yes men agreeing with what that woman was dealing with, right? And they probably disagreed with what that woman did, but they went along with it because they wanted to keep their job.
Yeah.
Rather than standing up for what was right, they stood up for that which was wrong. Because
that's right. That was the culture in that whole company where everybody was afraid to say what they thought. That's why the effeminate and the sodomites got so far in that place. Anybody who had a masculine spirit, like me, I was out of there, man. And I was glad to be out of there, to be honest. But it's just the fact that she lied about me.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, when I see you in the kingdom, it's going to be a good day for me. It's lucky.
No, because those stories, you don't know who you're helping, because now you're kind of immersed in the truth, but you're always getting more and more immersed in the truth. Like what the elder said, even you're in the truth for a little while, you still get revelations and things. And I've noticed with me, even though the Most High is increasing me in one area, when I was in Marks and Spencer's, to relate to what you're saying, the other day I was in a shopping centre, and a woman just went right in front of me, right? You know, it's social distancing, but she just went right in front of me. An elderly woman anyway, right? And she said, oh, I'm only got these 2 items, and I was in the queue for a long time. And I'm saying to myself, I'm calm, I'm all right, you know what I mean? But boy, the spirit, I said, I've been waiting here for a long time. You can't just stand in front. He didn't ask me or nothing. Yeah. And when I came out, and I said, no, excuse me, I've been waiting here a long time. And I kind of, not loud, but strong. You understand? Firm. And she moved over there, and they opened up another. Because there was 2 places open, and all the staff came out. When my voice raised, all the staff came from nowhere, and they opened up all the other place. Yeah. So she was making
it a big deal.
Right.
Wouldn't make that much of a big deal.
It didn't have to happen like that, but Satan puts you in certain dilemmas too. Satan put that dilemma to me. Yeah. But I raised my voice, and the Most High still delivered me out of it anyway. I said, excuse me, I'll be waiting a long time. You can't just stand in front of me like that. Because she asked the man in front of me. The man said, you got to ask him. Yeah. He looked at me, it's a black guy, and I'm not asking him. Yeah. So I saw that. Yeah. I
was just going to say, these women have a sense of entitlement.
That's it.
They've always had from the point that the minute they come out of the room,
their mum and their dad saying, "Oh, you're my little princess. You know, you're so good," and all this kind of stuff. To these girls, rather than being brought up in a real way where their dad will say, "Hey, look, you're a woman. You're actually a second-class citizen as a man." They put the woman on a pedestal all their life, all throughout school, all throughout college. So when they enter in the world, they're looking at you, especially the black man, so-called black man. They look at you like you're a piece of shit, man. I mean, I've got personal testimonies about this. There's one time.
bring it out, Noah. Bring it out. Bring it out. And stay in the scriptures. Just bring it out and stay in the scriptures. Yeah.
Right. Just like there was a girl who I used to go to school with. She used to think she was like all that, but I didn't like her because she was an arsehole. But she was a Jake girl. And I remember I was walking down the road one day and I saw her pushing a pushchair with a baby in it. And she walked past me, and she didn't even see me. I remember thinking, because she knew who I was, like, you know, knew from school. I looked at her and thought, she just walked past me like.
Now, but you know what it was? I think what it was, right? He wasn't checking for her.
Yeah, I wasn't
checking for her.
I wasn't checking for her. But she walked past me like I wasn't even there. In the spirit, I thought to myself, hang on a minute. I'm an Israelite man. You know, you're not supposed to look at an Israelite man like he's just a piece of shit on the floor. You know, at least say hello, or it's a minor thing. I shouldn't be for some reason. In my spirit, that revealed to me how our women actually see us. They don't look at us like that.
No, but what it was is because I used to get that, you know, when I was a young lad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because basically, like certain women, they'll come around, like they come around me, you know, show interest and everything. But when I wouldn't show interest, it was a totally different attitude. They started treating me like shit. Because you pretty much hurt them and you didn't say anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Come on. I got you.
Especially when I was in high school anyway. That's what you brothers call secondary school.
Yeah, you know what, 24. Alright, this is Matthew 25 and 24. So like if you're talking.
It's not, bro. It's
No,
it's
the
right,
scriptures need to come out, man. Matthew 25 and verse 24. It says, "Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew that thou was a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid and went and hid my talent in the earth. And lo, thou hast, that is thine."
That's it. So Yahawashi, what? This is an individual that hid the talent, because we all got talents. But the main point, this is going into what? Alpha mentality, because Yahawashi was an alpha male. When you read on down, it's gonna say it, but he's a hard man. So Yahawashi was known as a hard man, not a feminine.
Right.
No, but I thought the Lord had a soft voice and, you know, leprous skin and stringy hair.
Right,
That image
that's
is
a
feminine.
Christian form.
You got more? If you got more, bring it out. You got more, go on.
That's it. It was
Alright, I got this one, relating to what you're saying, experiences. You're talking about personal experiences. Ecclesiasticus and 7 and, you know, we know the one, but still. Surely, 7 and 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart, right?
Yeah.
So we are fully more aware of how things should be done in this society, in our society, in our kingdom, and how it's done, how unjust it is. That when I think about it, I think,
Makes you more angry.
you know what I mean? And I think, and Isaiah, I can bring that precept out. But if you've got something, bring it out.
So back in Matthew 25:24, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
And he that received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth. And lo, thou hast, that is thine.
So when it hid the talent.